It's Kringle time. Sit back, relax. It's time to dive into a world of laughter and learning with the Kringle brothers, reminding us that we are better together.
Hey, everyone. Hey, welcome to Kringle time. How are you doing, Michael?
I'm doing good, Mike. I just love that intro. I feel we should have like Guns N' Roses behind us, you know.
Well, hey, happy 4th of July.
You too, you know. Let's say happy birthday to America. Happy birthday. He does it so much better.
All right, we'll never get that gig. Oh, you know, I'm excited about tonight's show. We're talking about the business side, business management, and I know sometimes business stuff can be a little boring, you know what I mean? But we've got the SCEO of Kringle Tracker coming on with us tonight.
Don't you mean the CEO?
No, the SCEO.
What, for Super Chief Executive Officer?
No, you know, Roger's more than a CEO. He's the SCEO, you know, Santa Claus Executive Officer. Yes, the title. I mean, I would figure all right. Roger doesn't call himself the SCEO. That's my stupid humor a little bit. But let me go ahead and read. Well, I can read it with Roger here too. Why don't we go ahead and bring on Roger, Santa Roger Mitten, the SCEO of Kringle Tracker. Hello, Roger. How are you?
Hello. Hey guys. Now, I know SCEO sounds great, but you could call me a CTS, the Chief Technical Santa.
Oh, that sounds more official, or a lot more work.
Oh, that's way too much funny. So funny. So welcome, and golly gee, Rex Ray's on and AJ's on. Oh, and Everett's on. Oh, and Nader's too, and Kane. Oh, and Melissa. Oh, welcome, and Sal. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for giving us your time. We appreciate it. And let's do this, Roger. Let me go ahead and read. You know, when we look at the heart of a Christmas former, in other words, the 4 areas, the chamber of a heart. Let me write down. I'll read to you what I wrote, and then we'll dive in. And we've got some Kringle Tracker questions for you. So
right. I have to go put my swimsuit on since we're diving in.
Business management. All right. In addition to artistic talent, effective business management skills are critical for the success of a Christmas performer. This involves strategic planning, marketing, and financial management. From booking performances to managing finances and promoting their brand, performers must navigate the business side of their craft to sustain and grow their career. Building professional networking, negotiating contracts, maintaining a strong online presence are all critical aspects of the business management for a Christmas performer.
He says that so nicely, doesn't he?
He does.
You know, that's more than one show.
You almost need to take a commercial with what you just said.
So Roger, before we dive into Kringle Track a little bit, and you can tell us about what a CRM program is in that, tell us how you put on the red suit the first time. Give us a little bit of background on your Christmas journey.
All right. So I started when I was 22 years old. I was an elf for another Santa. And 3 days before our family's Christmas party, he called us up and said, "Can't do it. I have congestive heart failure."
Oh, no.
Yeah. And so my aunt and my dad were standing there when I got the call. And my aunt looked at me and said, "I have your uncle's suit. You could use that. You just need a beard." So I went to Party City and got the ramen noodle beard.
Walrus. Oh.
And my aunt gave me the suit. The suit at that time was 35 years older than I was.
Wow.
So I was terrified that it was just going to dry rot and fall off. But
malls would come up.
So like in the cartoon, take it out, the malls leave, the suit is held by a thread.
I did it that year for my family's Christmas party, and both of my kids were 3-4 years old at the time, so it was a little concern that they were going to figure out who I was, and they didn't. And I had so much fun that the bug bit, kind of like a lot of us. And This is going into 15 years now.
Wow, that's awesome. So, wow, that's cool. That's cool. So, being Santa and then computers, all right, are completely different. So, tell us how you made the transition, at least coming out of school and stuff, getting involved with computers and a little bit of your computer background, so people know, how seriously you take what you do.
Yeah, so I started developing in 1999 when I was in middle school, and I had I kind of like the Santa bug. It just bit me, and I had a lot of passion for building programs because I knew back then that if technology can help make your life easier, that's a good thing. So I get a lot of joy out of building stuff that people actually use. So as I was building and learning in school, I've been doing magic since I was 6. So I was performing as a magician, and just like us with Santas, magicians have clients and they have dates and they have props and they have everything. So I had been building small little programs back then to help me manage my magic business. And then it kind of filtered out when my kids came into the picture, and then Santa came in, and I went, okay, I need to manage this again, and started cobbling things together. And I had something that was working. I was using a program up until 2018. They then raised their prices almost 400% because they went to a pay by feature model. And then, of course, I met you guys, and you guys were complaining about all the business sides of things, and then it kind of kicked off from there.
Well, I'm just so glad you built something useful and not Terminator.
Yeah. It doesn't have a mind of its own. You still have to tell it.
Yet.
Yeah, it's not there yet. I'll be back. Yeah. I mean, that's too funny. So what did you build? I know the answer is a CRM program, but so tell us, what's the CRM program?
So CRM stands for Customer Relationship Management. So when you think about our services and like a customer service desk at a retail store, it's all about your relationship with your customer. So who the customer is, how to contact them, what their address is, all the pertinent information about them. Then when you add in a performer like Santa or a magician, then you start adding in the dates and the times that you're being hired, contracts or agreements that you have, invoices and payments that you have. Then you start diving into more of your business side of expenses and income tracking. That's really what a CRM program does at its core. It helps you bring all those pieces together and manage them in one place, so they're a little easier to get through the mundane part of the business, so you can get back to having fun.
Cool.
Now with Kringle Tracker, Roger, is it a program that you have to buy?
Yeah, so we were considered what's known as a SaaS program. So it's a software as a service. So it's all run on your browser. So there's no app to download or no software to download to your computer. You access it through Chrome or Safari or whatever you can. And you pay a subscription fee for that. And we have 2 different models. We have a monthly model, which is $19.99 a month. And then we have a yearly model where you can save about $65, and it's $174.99. So those 2 pricing models is where we're at. And once you're in there, then you have access to it, and all your data is kept in there, and you can start managing your business.
Awesome. Cool. So do you have another question, Michael, before I dive in? I don't want to make sure that I'm...
Well, the next question I have too is, with technology, and you're storing all the data that comes from all what everybody's inputting in there. Now, can you see everybody's data? I mean, would I have to be afraid, for instance, of my customer base getting out and then you basically poaching more or less customers or anything like that?
No. So we follow all the industry standards for securing and backing up data. So our database is backed up It's called by the minute, so it's every minute it's being backed up, so we can revert if something happens. The only person that has access to that database is me, and the only time that I look at your data is if you call me up and you're having a problem, and I need to dive in to see what's going on. Other than that, I've got my own book of clients, and I don't need any more business on that end.
Yeah. So what makes Kringle Tracker, which let me go ahead and throw this out real quick too. Kringle Tracker is not Kringle Brother.
No.
I do use Kringle Tracker and
do too.
absolutely love it and can do a testimony on that, and why I use it and how it helps me. In fact, I booked and collected money on Kringle Tracker today. You know what I mean? But all right, that's another whole story. So just to let you know, they're separate. I just want to make sure that you know that. So Roger, tell us what makes Kringle Tracker different than all the other CRM programs that are out there.
So a lot of your CRM programs focus around your client or your customer, because they're the hub. And while they are the hub, for us as performers, our hub is the date and time that we're being hired for our service. So we've shifted that logic from the customer over to the event. So we are event driven rather than customer driven. So everything ties into the event. Your client ties into an event, your invoice ties to an event, your contract ties to the event, the date, so all of that revolves around where you need to be when you're hired by someone.
Yeah, I know as a user of Kringle Tracker, one of the things that I love about that event section, working through events is, so let's say hypothetically, I work for the Great Wolf Lodge. Last season, I had 76 hours with them. So multiple days, multiple times. I created it once and then just cloned it.
Yeah.
D instead of saving all of that typing over and over and over and over again. It was like, wow.
Yeah,
that's so nice.
And that's one of the features why we're event based, because like a client like Great Wolf Lodge, where you're being hired by the same person for multiple days, most CRM programs are one date, one project, one time, and that's it. So by switching that focus from the customer to the event, now you open up some possibilities like having multiple dates under one event. So that way you can keep track of everything under one item rather than doing and copying and duplicating all of that. You're just duplicating the date for it.
Well, you're talking about like the event-driven aspect. Why don't you take us through an overview of the process from point A to point Z and identify what's all included within the Kringle Tracker application?
Yeah. So if we think about how we get a client comes in from a number of different ways. They either call you, they send a message through your Facebook or your website. You get in touch with a client. So the first thing is you need to have that client in your system. So you're going to store all their information, what their address is, what the phone number is, any details about the client. So for us, that would be the kids and the kids' ages. And then for when you're actually hired and you guys have settled on a date, then you create the event. And that event date, you assign the client to it. And then from there, depending on how you want to run your business, you can create a contract and send that out to the client. You can create the invoice and send that out to the client. And then if you have expenses in your business, you can track those as well. So it's more complex on the back end. And what we've tried to do is make it as easy on the front end for you to get in, create an event, track your information, and then get out, because we all love being Santa. We don't want to sit in front of a computer all day. So it sounds simple, but there's a lot going on with it.
So what you're saying is once the event's created, I can send out a contract electronically. I can send out an invoice electronically, and then my client base can then end up paying said invoice, all done within a matter of 15 minutes.
Yeah. Some of our users have, one of the other aspects of Kringle Tracker is we have a lead widget. So it's a snippet of code that you get when you subscribe that you put on your website, and it has a generic event form. And when they fill that out, it comes directly into your Kringle Tracker account. So you get the lead from your website. It handles entering all that information in. So you're not retyping that information in when you finally book the client. They've already done it. And then, so with the lead form and then the contracts, I forgot where I was going, guys. What was your question, Michael?
No, I was just saying how basically with Kringle Tracker, once you actually get the widget, you get basically all the preliminary information, the contact information. You can go ahead and then call the customer or the client, define a date, what you're looking for, and then you can create a contract, send the contract electronically. Once the contract is signed, you can also then send the invoice electronically. And then, if I'm not mistaken, you have the means within the application to receive money.
Yep.
So, and again, you could create an event, finalize the event, send out a contract, and send out an invoice and be paid all within 15 minutes to 30 minutes.
Yeah. So I've experienced it. That's where we were going. So that whole process for some of our users has happened anywhere from 15 minutes to 45 minutes where they've contacted the customer, created the event, created the contract, got the invoice paid, all within that time frame, because it makes everything easier going through and doing everything digitally.
Yeah, cool. Well, let's do this, Michael. Let's say in the chat box, we've got some questions coming in for Roger. Let's go ahead and run the dad joke for the day. Our dad joke today is brought to you by the School of Santa's Mathematic Apartment. They want everyone to know that you count.
Here at the North Pole, the elves and I love elevator jokes. Why do you ask? Well, they work on so many levels.
Thank you, Carl. That was a little cerebral. You had to think a little on that one.
Remember to keep jolly. The mathematic department, get it? You count. All right.
Well, some of the questions.
Dad joke within a dad joke.
Oh my gosh! Now we're evolving.
Oh boy, it's dad joke inception time.
Some of the questions we have right now, Roger. Let's start from the beginning here because I start a few here. Yeah. Santa Sal says Roger has the best program for managing your business.
Oh, thank you, Sal.
John Schimmel, I wish there were more templates.
So we're constantly evolving. So templates, the contract templates, we're working with other schools and presenters to get their contract templates in there and to feed more into that. So those will grow over time.
And so you can edit those, can't you, Roger? Now, even if someone wants a template or let's say they've got an agreement that they already use, they can type that in and use it, can't they?
Yeah.
Well, see, now you're reading the minds of the computer. Maybe you're quite familiar, Michael. Because Gary Linder says, can you make your own templates?
You can.
All right. I jumped to it, Gary. Sorry.
So, Gary, yes, you can.
No.
Then we have Sue Radloff. I'm excited to learn about this because I don't want to have to keep creating multiple spreadsheets.
Nice.
And Boris comes in. Can you link other payment options other than Stripe?
So right now, Stripe is the only integrated payment option. And we're working with PayPal merchant, business merchants. And we've been in talks with some other credit card processing companies like American Express. They just take a lot of setup and a lot of time for the integrations to be fully tested and completed. So we have a way to, if you have a personal PayPal account that you do business with, you can turn that on and it'll put a note on your invoices and they can send the money manually. It's not the best option, but it is.
Yeah. Is there a reason you went with Stripe first?
So Stripe right now is one of the leading credit card processors for most of the majority of the internet, especially for small and medium-sized businesses. Their rates are, I believe it's 2.9% plus 30 cents.
Oh,
And PayPal is a little bit more. I think last time I looked, they were 3.4 plus 30 cents. So Stripe saves you a little bit of money.
I like that.
Yep. And PayPal they're just a bigger company to deal with. So we've got a lot more hoops to jump through with them.
Okay,
Wow.
and then I have two more things coming
Yeah.
in from Santa Tom. Can I attach a Kringle tracker link to my website so they can book directly with me through Tracker? And I believe you mentioned that. Wouldn't that be the widget?
Yeah, so I think the widget allows you to get a lead in. If Santa Tom is talking about like a booking form like Calendly, where they can select the time and it'll create an event in there. We don't have the booking and scheduling feature in there. It is on our roadmap, and we're looking at a few different ways to add that by integrations with Calendly or bringing in a Kringle tracker version that's a little less pared down than Calendly. So the widget, yes. The scheduling more advanced, not right now.
So you
You know,
bring up a good point, Roger. I'm sorry, Michael. I just want to
Nope.
bring this thought up here is when you sign up and you actually receive a membership or you receive access to Kringle Tracker, you don't pay within that year time or month time on any updates or any improvements.
Nope. All the updates that get rolled out are available to you when we roll them out. So as long as you have an active subscription, you have access to your data and you have access to all the new features that we're pushing out.
And you and all the team that's involved, even the responsible adults.
Yep.
So you're constantly working on this and it's constantly evolving. It's almost as if it's a living application.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
So we're coming up on our 2-year anniversary this month. On July 25th is when we launched. So we're still very young. So if you try to compare apples to apples with other CRM programs, we have some features that they don't, and they have features that we don't. So my goal with that is we're slower on the development because we're listening to the community. As people are using it, they're giving us feedback, and we're integrating the features that our community wants and needs before just going out and building a whole feature that maybe only 2% of the user base may want. So we're prioritizing it with feedback.
And Santa Tom also comes in with sometimes when I'm sending out contracts, the program will only let me add one signer.
That's the first time I've heard of that one.
Yeah,
So,
I just added multiple signers today. You know, when I send it out,
Yep.
I'll have to follow that one
So
up.
Santa Tom, you might just want to check with either Michael or Roger.
Yep.
Maybe they can help you troubleshoot that for you. But as of right now, gentlemen, and I use the term loosely, that's all the questions and comments at this time.
You know, well, I wanted to say this too a little bit earlier, just so that you can go when it comes to the lead widget. I mean, it's a click. You know, so like I got the lead widget. So here's today. This happened today for me. I get the lead widget comes in off my website. The phone number's there, the address is there, the name of the preschool, the lady, the whole everything I need. She's put down there. This is how many kids. This is what I want you to do. So I picked up the telephone and I called her. You know, hi, how are you doing? And we talked over everything that she had there. And I said, well, let me just confirm you got the right address and da 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 da. Yep, that's exactly where I want. It was just one click of the button to convert that lead into now they're a client. And so then that one button click, so all of the typing in the address and all the information she put in for me, she put it in. I just had to click convert it to a client. Now she's in my client base, and then I click on events and make the event. And then what's nice is I still don't have to retype all that client information because then where it comes with the address and the name and stuff, I start typing her name and it automatically appears and I click on it and all that data is automatically entered into the event information. So that saves me the redundancy of going over and over and over again. So will it book completely off of it right away? No. You know, if there's enough people that want that down the line, I can see Roger, you know, working that. But right now it was one click to move them into the database, you know,
Well,
and I didn't have to do it. So
I just like to say one more time, Michael, you have entered the matrix. Roger, you created something here in him, because
what did I say?
Ken Kringle said, my wife wants to know if she gets the Kringle Tracker app, will she be able to find out where I am at all times? Well, Ken, she'll be able to look up the address where you're supposed to be, but there's no GPS within Kringle Tracker.
No, there's no little RS chip
tracker.
no RS chip on your brother. You have to deal with your lovely on that all by yourself.
Now,
there are apps. Don't you have an app though that Stacy can track you where you're at?
No, I track Stacy, but all you got to do is just puts in an Apple tracker, one of them Apple tags, and she can find out where you're going at all times.
That's true.
Yeah. You know what?
Have your wife
community out there
in your wallet. Yeah.
That is one of the best things in the world. Is if you wanted to get one of them Apple tags, put it in your car. That way, if something were to happen, somebody can find you. Something like that. They're great. I don't recommend you sticking around and planting them on other people, because that's just weird. But
so and here's a question from Diane. If you purchase November and December only, can you access it to put in new gigs, or only available for November and December?
Yeah, so you only have access to the system when you pay for it. So if you're only going to pay for it in November, you can only access it for that month that you have. So that's why we did the yearly option, which gives you that $65 savings. So that way you can have it throughout the year and be sending out contracts. Because like we've all said in the past few minutes, is we've all been doing contracts the past couple of days, past couple of weeks, as we're booking our season up.
And even all the Christmas and July stuff, you know,
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, in reality, to effectively manage your business, you don't want to be booking or trying to do stuff in October, November, and December. It's chaos for us at that time. But it's also chaos in July if you've got a really full calendar and roster of clients as well. But it gives you a lot more time to get through that.
Sorry, I wasn't laughing at you. I just read Stacy's.
Oh yeah,
that's her comment about Michael. If you don't know Stacy, you know, which is very phenomenal. We'll talk about, but that's Michael's better half, and she says Apple tags or Life 360 for tracking loved ones. Recommend you let them know.
And then Ken Kringle came back and says, "No, Michael, that was my ankle monitor."
Oh my.
And then finally, one last comment that we could keep up to speed here. Santa Cell comes back, and one of the features we didn't discuss, Roger, was the integration between Kringle Tracker and then being able to take the events and then send them into your Apple or Google Calendar.
Yep.
So you can actually share all that.
Before you answer that, wait. I'm going to stop you, Roger.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and let's thank our people who contribute to the TNL network, and then we'll come back to answer calendar work.
Okay.
Are you going crazy managing clients, contracts, and invoices? Kringle Tracker is here to help you. Stay organized with ease. Keep your sanity in check with Kringle Tracker's intuitive tools to effectively manage your schedule and clients. Our seamless, customizable contract system allows you to tailor your contracts to you and your clients' needs. Prepare for tax time like a pro by tracking your income and expenses, and generate reports to make it a breeze. Transform your Claws business by signing up for a free 20-day trial. Kringle Tracker was created by a Claws for the Claws community, so you can focus on making magical memories for your clients. Head over to kringletracker.com and sign up for your free trial today.
Everything tastes better in a Kringle Tracker mug. Yes,
I don't have mine.
Except when the SCEO can't find one.
Well,
he's got it.
it's
Oh
because
my!
I have 2 elves at home that like to use them as well.
Well, before we went to the commercial break here, or let me rephrase that to our contributor sponsor. Sal made a point of saying how Kringle Tracker can be integrated to basically show the events within the Apple and Google Calendar,
Right.
which is great. So you can share your calendar over multiple platforms. And then Diane Veen says, do you keep all the information from year to year if you only get a few months every year?
Yep. So let's tackle the calendar one first. So
Okay.
the Kringle Tracker is the gold record. It's your master record of everything that you are doing. So when you think about getting that information to Apple or Google, it's a one-way sync. So Kringle Tracker is going to push it out to Google or Apple, and then it'll show up on there. So if there's any edits that need to be made, you don't make them in Google, you make them in Kringle Tracker, and then that new information will sync over. So we have that. It's not just Google and Apple, though. It's essentially any program like Outlook that can accept it's called an ICS feed.
ICS.
So, yep. And I know there's some users that integrated, I believe it was Thunderbird Mail Client or one of the other ones, and it worked for them as well.
Yeah, I know the calendar feature I love because, I push it out to my Apple calendar, which then I share with my wife. So then while she's got her calendar, she can see not only my personal calendar, but then she can see all the stuff that is being booked as Santa at the same time. So that way we can hopefully, not 2 ships passing in the night, but we can spend more time together.
So that's what Ken needs to do so his wife can track him without the ankle monitor.
There you go. Well, now here,
or without the Apple tag.
y'all are taking all my ideas tonight. Anyway, the next comment we have to discuss, and this is actually a really good point, Roger.
Well, hang on. I think we need to answer Diane's first.
Okay, I'm sorry. You're jumping ahead of me.
Yep.
Okay.
So right now, when you have a Kringle Tracker subscription, all that data is backed up. And if you are paying monthly and you only pay for 3 months, at the end of your trial or at the end of your subscription, the data stays there and it'll stay there for up to 24 months. So if you're using it within that and you take a few months off and you come back, your data will still be there. There'll be notices if you enter in that 24-month area where it will, if we're going to start removing your information, and then then at that point you would be a new subscriber again and start with a blank slate.
Right.
So it does keep it, but it also doesn't keep it. And that's kind of industry standard with a lot of software on the internet.
Well, and I like the thought that the price of Kringle Tracker basically is one visit, the price of an hour visit, an average, because I realize there's some people that make way more than that. And there's some people that make less per hour, or at least they charge less, I should say it that way. But on an average, it's one visit,
Yeah.
That's for the year. So, yeah.
And that's when we went and talked about pricing when we first started Kringle Tracker. That was the goal. It wasn't a goal to try to make money off of our community. My passion was to build something for our community because there was a need for it. More than just Michael and Herbie were coming to me and saying, hey, I'm having trouble with calendars and managing clients. So when we talked about pricing, I kind of pulled in some of what I did with when I was a magician, and magicians are, anywhere from $100 to $200 an hour for a birthday party. So it's in that same vein. And that was my idea is if you could do one visit or even let's say 2 visits, if you're in a lower income area, 2 visits to manage your entire clause business, that to me seems worth it because it's going to take a lot of headaches out of your day.
Cool.
Oh, yeah. Go on, Michael.
Sue says, another question from Sue. It says, do you need to choose between Gig Salad or Santa Tracker? I think she means Kringle Tracker. All right. Or do I need both? And does each one perform differently?
Yes. And so this is a little bit of a complex question to answer. So when we think about Kringle Tracker, it's a CRM program that manages your business. We do have a feature that allows you to collect leads, but they're leads just for you. Gig Salad, on the other hand, is a more of a lead generation tool. So you're going to sign up with their services. You're going to get leads that are coming through their website, but they're not just coming to you, they're going to multiple performers at the same time. So it's a bidding contest. So to answer that, you should use both in reality. You should, whether it's Kringle Tracker or another CRM system, you want something to manage your business, and then you want Gig Salad because they're doing a lot of advertising for Santa Clauses to hire. So they're going to generate leads for you as well. And then you can help funnel that information into your CRM program to then track it and manage your system.
Another question is this: can I sync then Gig Salad with the Kringle Tracker?
Not at this time. So we're trying to work with Gig Salad and trying to get an integration going, but they don't really integrate with other people. So if you guys want to start emailing them saying, hey, you should integrate with Kringle Tracker, it might move the ticket on their end a little bit.
Well, the next comment comes from John, and he says, how does Kringle Tracker compare to Party Pro Manager?
So we have a lot of similar features. Party Pro Manager has been around for, I think, 10 or 15 years. So like I said earlier, we're still young. They've got a lot more features that they have some features that we don't, and we have some that they don't. So apples to apples, they have more when you list out all the features side by side. The biggest difference is that Party Pro Manager is for the generic entertainment business, whereas we're focused more on the clause community. So we're a much smaller, much more targeted niche group, and that's where we're developing it. So that's the biggest difference between Party Pro and Kringle Tracker.
The user interface seems so much easier to me also,
Okay. Now, we should maybe do this. All right. We've talked so much about Kringle Tracker and all the wonderful things it can do, but how does one find it?
Wait, I could have had a VA.
Yeah. So you can go to kringletracker.com. You can find us on Facebook. You can find Michael and I as well. So there's a multitude of ways to find it, but kringletracker.com is the easiest way to find us.
Well, I just put up right now a banner that says, for anyone that's interested, Michael and Roger will be hosting a Kringle Tracker demo. It's supposed to be on Tuesday, July 9th, not Thursday, because I can't type right, at 8 p.m. So
Wait
you know what we're...
Is this because of the Apple tag Stacy has on here?
That one's linked into my neural capabilities, and therefore I don't know what I'm doing.
All right, sorry. Go ahead and finish. I had to jump in.
That's okay. Tuesday, you know what?
The night.
I just there. See, I changed it now. Dun dun dun. Herbie to the rescue. Dun dun fa la la. Anyway, Tuesday, July 9th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, this will actually be on Zoom. So if you would like to actually receive an invitation to attend this demo, please email the Kringle Brothers at kringlebrothers2@gmail.com. Yeah. And then Michael or Roger will forward you the link and the information for you to actually go ahead and join. So we go back into this here. Let's see here. Where was I?
Yeah, what I'll do is I'll email you an invitation that you just click on, and so then that will give you the Zoom link and everything, and then we'll get on and we'll answer more questions, and then you'll be able to see it. I don't know if you're like me at all. I'm very kinesthetic and visual, so it's like, let me see it, let me touch it, let me work it, and that's one of the nice things too about having the demo. So if you're like I am a little bit, you want to see it and touch it and work with it, before you make a decision. Rogers graciously has given us a demo period so that for all of us visual kinesthetic learners, right?
And then Santa Tom comes back and says, if you're only using Gig Salad for your account, Gig Salad would work. If you take gigs from anywhere else, you'll need both.
Right.
And then John Palinkas the third. He was the one. He is the gentleman that actually asked, "How does this compare to Party Pro Manager?" He's saying that he not only just does Santa, but Santa, sleigh, trains, reindeer, elves, mascots, and more. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Roger, when you actually go in, you can set up different itemized elements. So if you wanted to book a sleigh and Santa and a mascot, etc., you can add these all into different line items on the invoice as well, correct?
Yep. Yeah. So this is a perfect example of something that of a feature that's coming later this year. So when you create an invoice right now, you're creating the line items manually. We do have a services and products section where you can go in there and create all those products that you are renting out or selling. So your time, your sleigh, reindeer, whatever else you have, those are going to start automatically feeding into your invoices so you don't have to retype everything over and over. So that's a feature that's partly integrated, but the full integration is coming a little later.
Awesome. And then Diane asks, will the Zoom of the demo be available to watch on YouTube afterwards?
And then I'll answer. I'm going to say no to that. But if you can't make the July 9th date, let me know and I'll do a private demo for you. I mean, hopefully watch me all of a sudden get every day of the week booked, you know what I mean, kind of thing. But if we can get everyone at least watching tonight, if they would like it, or on the 9th, that would be awesome. But, if that just doesn't work, I get it. Life happens. And I want you to see it and demo it and then work with it. So let me know if you need a different date, and I'll do my best. Be patient with me. I'm getting older, and so
But you're getting older, but you're getting better looking.
Oh, I am?
Yes, you are.
Oh,
okay. Well, John now comes back and says, can you book your employees through this? We have 35 performers we are booking out.
So no, not right now. We talked about having more of an agency model, which is what John's kind of describing. But we don't have that right now. We wanted to focus on the solo performers and the clauses in the community first, and then talk with agencies or people who book out actual employees a little later.
Awesome. Okay. Well, Ken Kringle, he's the one with the ankle monitor. He says he was a chubby and plump and right jolly old elf. You guys really bring the jolly to your live broadcast. That's what makes your show different. That's what makes your show great. Well, we appreciate that, Ken. We try to be it. And yes,
thank you.
We are a jolly bunch here.
And I really appreciate above that. I really appreciate what Sal had to say. Why don't you go ahead?
Oh, yeah. Well, Sal is a wonderful support. He loves Kringle Tracker. He says, if you need help with Kringle Tracker, the support staff is phenomenal and work to solve your problem. Sign up for Kringle Tracker now. Operators are standing by, and also those responsible adults that have to keep most of us in line anyway.
with your AirTag, I'm going to be using against you like crazy. You got your AirTag? Can we go over it? Right?
If you ever want to really track Santa, forget NORAD. Just basically get an Apple AirTag.
So, and then Tom says a limit to number of participants.
I'm not sure what he means by that. Are we talking about the Zoom? Or
I think he's referring to the Zoom about how many participants can actually be in. That's a call on you guys. How many are you looking?
Normally we have around 20 or so, but if there's more people that show up, I'll set up a second Zoom if we can, but I like to try to keep it down to no more than 30. Just because we want to make sure everyone who's got a question and stuff, we have time to really legitimately listen to you and to talk to you and to answer all those questions. Because, it's one of those, for me, Kringle Tracker's like sliced bread. It's like, how did I manage this You know, I mean, it's like getting your cell phone, or watching this. How do I manage life without a GPS? You know what I mean? And when I had to open up maps when I was a kid in college and that kind of stuff,
I
right?
could never fold them back.
It's just one of those. I mean, I've got that story with Kringle Tracker where a lead came in off of my website. I called the lady. I sent the contract immediately out to her for the event. She signed it, sent the invoice, and she paid for the whole event. You know what I mean? And that was all like a 12, 13-minute process from start to finish. And with Kringle Tracker, I'm literally by January 1st, it's with Kringle Tracker, everything's collected and it's paid for and it's done. Normally in the past, I've had, bookings from schools in different places where I had to manually make an invoice and then it go to them and they run through their POs. And then so hopefully by the end of January, February, and March, I mean, I've even had payments come in April. I mean, with Kringle Tracker, I mean, it's all done beforehand.
What's also nice too is when you do create an invoice or you create a contract, that is actually saved and attached to the event. So if the client actually calls you back or contacts you and says, hey, I never got that invoice, instead of having to create the wheel all over again, you can simply pull that up through the event and then resend it. So, and again, as Roger and Michael pointed out, you don't need a computer to do this. You can do this from your phone, from your iPad, from your tablet, wherever you actually have access to the internet. You can actually get the Kringle Tracker app in order to make it work for you. A few more comments here. Dana says, I love Kringle Tracker. It has made my life so much easier.
Oh, that's awesome to hear, Dana.
Santa Tom says, you guys were wonderful at ISC.
Oh, thank you.
And Bruce Nord says, what do you mean forget Nord? Oh, you mean NORAD. And here I am getting called
Kathy's
out.
Tracker. We've got a Kathy Tracker on that one.
Well, Bruce does have the, he has the Kathy Tracker. Okay. Well, you know what time it is now, Michael, as I think it's time we need to run.
Oh, we've got to do the question.
The question there.
Trivia.
So let's see if Roger knows this one. So here is the question.
Wait, Roger,
probably not
for the prize.
Well, I know Roger can't win the prize, but it'd be kind of fun to let him think about this as I read it. So, what is the name of the tree used in New Zealand for the Christmas celebration? Again, what is the name of the tree used in New Zealand for the Christmas celebration?
Hang on, let me ask ChatGPT real quick.
Wait, I don't.
Great, now you just gave out the way to get all the answers.
Yeah, but Chat,
you gotta type fast.
How fast? And you can't just copy and paste the question off of us either. They don't allow you to do that.
Nope, that's true. Oh well, we got some good ones here. Santa Tom says wood. No. Erwin says outlaws trees. No. Oh my goodness, there it is.
Makes me think of a Western. I want all your trees off the lawn.
And ding. Okay, John, we already got Jeff, Erwin beats you to it. It is the I'm not going to pronounce
I'll bring up the
Thank you. Yes, that is right. It's the Huhutukawa tree, which is it sounds like one of my elves.
Look, you're the one who picked this question.
I didn't say I could speak it. I just wanted to pick the question. But it's a dome-shaped tree with red blossoms that erupt. I just like between November and January. November 1st, boom, red flowers. January 31st, all green.
When I looked this tree up, because I never heard of it when we were talking about early, the flower is absolutely gorgeous. They're like ornaments.
Wow.
Well, there was some, but yes, our winner is Erwin Dammers. And yes, Erwin, your name is going to be submitted for a drawing to attend the North Pole Cornerstones in San Antonio, Texas in 2025. Yay! So congratulations. Now, with that being said,
we'll cross our fingers and hopefully you're the final winner too.
Erwin, you're since you won tonight, you are no longer eligible to win for the next 45 days. So I just want to let you know that. But congratulations, Erwin. Way to go, and way to know how to use Chat GPT.
Now, Bruce said a kiwi Christmas tree. Is there such thing as a kiwi Christmas tree?
Well, that's what New Zealand's are called, kiwis. So almost any tree put up, or it could be that little bird that's got that long little snoot.
I'm just thinking about going into the produce section and seeing kiwis. And is there a kiwi tree that's Christmassy?
And yes, Santa Tom, I understand that there's still wood in the tree, but we're looking for a particular tree, not just a wooden tree.
What's your eye? Wood eye.
Oh, okay, you're cut off.
All
right. Well, okay. So we got up to there. What am I doing here? I'm lost again.
Well, that's not good because I don't know what we're doing.
I'm all lost.
You want me to go back to the notes? I can go.
No, I'm at the notes right now. I got it then too.
So Roger. So what else would you like to share about Kringle Tracker? We talked about the calendars and templates and making it and contracts and emailing them and bringing the widgets in and calendars and invoicing and payments collected. It's like, oh my gosh, what have we missed?
I think one of the big things is the expense management and reporting.
The tax guy stuff.
Yes, the tax guy stuff. So we all dread January for a multitude of reasons. One, our season's over, and two, the tax guy wants his information. So we've tried to create that and make that easier for you. So as you're tracking your income and your expenses, you have different categories in there. We load your account with the standard 22 IRS approved categories. You can then create custom categories as you need. You track all those expenses throughout the year. And we've worked with a few different accountants to create a real simple expense report that will show you all those categories with how much is in there. There's a profit and loss report, so you can actually see, did I make money this year, or did I spend way too much money on props or a new suit? And it'll tell you, so you can keep track of that. And then our reporting, we're diving more in details of the reporting. So as you're assigning events and creating those, you can assign what types of events they are, whether it's a school or a library or a community event. And we actually break down what your hourly rate is, what your hourly rate per event is, and you can see where your event, your most income is coming from, what type of events. So there's a lot of details that most of our community isn't aware of while we're in the midst of our season. So after the season, not only can you make the tax guy happy by giving him one sheet of paper, you can then look at your business from a whole different perspective and say, where's most of my money coming from? Is it libraries or is it home visits? Do you want to do more corporate visits? You'll be able to see that visually, so you can start changing your clause business to how you want it to be.
Cool. Question came in, says, can it be used instead of QuickBooks?
So it really depends on your business model. So we do expense management and income management at a basic level. QuickBooks is your coup de grace. They're the leaders in the space, but they're a full financial accounting system, and they have a slew of features that we would never probably implement on the financial side because we don't need that type of stuff. And if you're at that level where you need that, then you're going to be working with somebody who's using that as your tax professional. So no, it's not apples to apples. The other thing is QuickBooks doesn't do scheduling and calendaring and event management where we do. Anything that does work with QuickBooks or integrates with it is going to be on a much lesser feature level than what we would have.
Oh, Rex Ray comes back and says, wait a minute, if I take my tax guy just one sheet of paper, he will think I am out of business.
Well, it boils down to one sheet of paper.
How small that print is.
Yeah. There, Rex, for your tax guy to think you're still in business, we have a detailed report that shows every single expense line and where it went as well. But most accountants, for the simplicity, they want that overview sheet And then if they need to dive into it, you can also get the details out of it as well.
Categorical totals.
Yep.
Well, let's see here. Seeing if there are any more questions that are coming in. Well, Roger, I'd just like to say thank you for taking time. I know you're one of our contributors to this venture that Michael and I have put together here, and we're so happy to have you on board. And you took some time tonight to introduce yourself as the CEO. See, I even forgot about it. I've been hitting the head too many times with the sleigh.
CTS is just a lot easier. Chief Technical Santa.
And we want to thank everyone for listening also. We really appreciate you spending your time and coming and investing. Time is the one thing that you can never get back. Yep. And so we feel very privileged that you graced us with your presence. And if you would click on like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on like and follow us on Facebook, we really would appreciate it. That means a lot to us. And if you have suggestions or things that you would like to see Michael and I bring, like we brought Roger, if you want some, please let us know. Send us to Kringle Brothers 2. There's two of us, Kringle Brothers 2 at gmail.com. And we'll get back to you. Also, please, just a reminder, send us some of your dad jokes. Grab your phone.
Or even mom jokes. Mrs. Claus can get on this too.
We could do that. But you know what? Moms are usually smarter than that. So moms don't necessarily get with the stupid joke stuff. But we want to make sure that we stay jolly.
Well, how about we end with a good dad joke?
Oh, there's such a elusive beast.
I think so. I don't think it's been said on the show yet.
Okay, what is it? Hit us up.
Or is this something that we should record though first?
Yeah, we can record it. What do you call a deer with no eyes?
A deer with no eyes. Deer dies. Well, I don't know what.
No idea.
That's almost as bad. What do you call a cow with no legs?
Oh, I know that one.
Yep.
Ground beef.
That's right. What do you call a cow with only 2 legs?
Lean beef.
Lean beef. Get it? He's leaving.
Oh, and yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we do.
I love a good dad joke. It keeps you jolly.
It does.
Again, Santa Tom, if you like to, you could always email the Kringle Brothers 2 at gmail.com to be put on a list so Michael can send out the invite for the Kringle Tracker demo on Tuesday the 9th. That's that one there too. Ken Kringle came back with no idea. Ken Kringle also said ground beef and lean beef. And then Gary Linder was like, oh, so bad.
Too fun.
And then, yes, Bruce Norrid is upset because we stole both of his jokes now.
Oh, sorry, Bruce.
Well, Bruce, that just means you have to tape a few more and send it to us. So,
all right, Michael, let's do our closing. We appreciate everybody. So blessings, everyone. And may your life be filled with encouragement, laughter, and fellowship.
May you find magic in every smile you inspire and always live with heart full of wonder. Yes. Have a great week, everyone.
Thanks, everybody. Blessings.
And we'll see you next week. Oh my goodness.
Hey,
There's still
hey.
people here.
There's still a few people here. Can you believe it?
Well, you know what we forgot to say?
Oh, well, there was a priest, a politician,
Oh boy.
a
You're not live, are you?
Oh, yes.
oh yeah, a priest, a politician, Santa Claus, and 2 elves. They all walk into the bar. What do they talk about?
Kringle
Kringle
tracker.
time. They love watching the Kringle brothers.
Well, we forgot to say that, but we also forgot to say, too, for those that are still with us, that tomorrow, following the Magical Fellowship group, there will be no second show. So Wingnut won't be on tomorrow evening due to the 4th of July holiday. So we wanted to make sure that you knew that for scheduling purposes. And once again, thank you, everyone, for joining us. Remember, we love you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Love you guys. Thanks.